You're nowhere near your limits and you know it. So look at me and listen to me for a moment, not with your ego, but with a level of honesty, because I want to tell you something that will hit you so hard in the chest, but it's also going to lift you up higher than you've felt in a long time. I want you to leave this video feeling fucking ready to charged up and ready to lock in, because you're not failing, you're just underperforming your potential and you know it. And those two things are completely different. You think you're behind, you think that you've wasted time, you think that you've messed up too much, but I want you to hear this clearly, because you've barely even scratched the surface of who you can become. You're not at the end of your rope, you're at the beginning of your rise. Let me say that again, you're not at the end of your rope. Right now, you're at the beginning of your rise. And the only reason you still feel stuck is because your environment, your habits, and your self-talk are tricking you into believing that this version of you is the final, fully developed version. But it's definitely not. You're still early in your story. Very early, no matter your age. Because today's the first day of something new. So let me tell you something that will shock you in the best way possible. You're stronger than you think you are. You're smarter than you believe you are, and you're way more capable than your current actions are showing, and you've got more potential in your little finger than most people use in their entire lifetime. That's why the algorithm blessed you with this video today. But here's the slap in the face part. You've been living like your potential doesn't matter. You've been living like comfort is the goal instead of greatness. You've been living like life is something that happens to you instead of something that you build. So you talk small, you think small, you act small, and then you wonder why your life feels small. So this is the moment where you stop that right now. This is the moment where you remember who the fuck you are. Because there is a version of you that's so powerful, so locked in, so dialed in. A version of you that's so disciplined. A version of you that's so locked in and hyper-focused. A version of you that's dangerous, but in the best way possible. And that version of you chases purpose instead of comfort and excuses. Let me say that again. A version of you that chases purpose instead of excuses. A version of you that doesn't crumble when things get hard, but actually gets sharper. And that version's not as far away as you might think. He's just unfed, unpracticed, and underdeveloped and ignored, buried under distractions, guilt, and the need to fit in with the people who don't have the same ambition that you have. I know you've had that feeling when you sat round a table and you think, fucking hell, these guys are losers. So let me tell you something that people around you will never say. You are meant for more. You always have been, and you've always known it. You just never had someone tell you that you're not crazy for feeling that way, like you got greatness inside of you. And that feeling inside you says that you are capable of greatness. That's not delusion, that's your potential calling you out. So let me just remind you that you're not imagining it, you've just been suppressing it. So let me be real with you. Life has punched you in the face before. Life punches us all in the face. You've been through things that would have broke other people. You've survived situations that destroy softer men and they never come back from. You've gotten up after things that should have kept you down, but you underestimate your resilience because you keep comparing your journey to somebody else's highlight reel. So let me say again, you're not behind. You're battle-tested, you're resilient, and battle-tested men rise differently. So let me tell you something else. Your strength is not measured by how perfect your life looks on Instagram. Your strength is measured by how many times you've refused to quit, even though quitting would have been the easy option. You've lived through pain that shaped you and built resilience in you. You've lived through madness that's matured you and taught you lessons. You've lived through chaos that's sharpened you. And you've lived through trauma that's taught you and showed you different parts of life. But instead of seeing the warrior that came out of it, you just see the trauma and the wounds and the losses. So you forget that you've fought battles that most people have never even experienced. You forget that you've survived days that you weren't even built for yet. You forget that every scar you carry proves that you didn't fold. So let me remind you that you're not weak, you're not stuck, you're not broken, and you're definitely not lost, not permanently lost, maybe temporarily. You're just simply not living at the level that you know that you've been designed for. You're living at 30% and complaining that life feels heavy. Of course it feels heavy. You're carrying greatness with a lazy grip and you're just trying to let go of it. So let me hit you with something honest. It's not that you can't do more, it's that you're scared of what actually happens when you finally decide to do more. Because deep down, you know that once you go all in, you just can't hide behind the excuses anymore. You can't keep pretending that you're average. You can't pretend that you're okay with mediocrity. You You cannot pretend that comfort is enough, because you know that you were built for more. You know that you've got a fire inside of you that has not burned properly yet. You know that you're capable of building a life that shocks everybody who doubted you and ever thought that you're a loser. Because we've all got those people in our life who's just never seen our potential. But here's the good part that should get you excited. Once you start taking the first step and stop thinking about fear and start thinking about the possibilities, once you get one win and then another, your confidence comes back like it never left. And once you get a taste of that discipline, you start craving more and realising how good your life could be. And once you start living with purpose, on purpose, everything in your life begins to rise with it. Your energy rises, your standards rise, your body rises, your income rises, your relationships rise, opportunities and experience are magnetised towards you, and you start feeling alive again. But let me talk to that guilt part inside you, that traumatised part, because I know it's there. It's there in every single one of the men that come to work with me. I know sometimes you feel angry at yourself for wasting so many years. I know sometimes you feel ashamed of the habits that you fell into. I know sometimes you feel embarrassed by how much potential you've let slip through your fingers. So let me remove that weight off you. Forgive yourself. You didn't know then what you know now. You didn't have the clarity that you've got now. You didn't have that mindset and that resilience that you've built through all the trauma and the mistakes and the lessons. You didn't have the environment. You didn't have the structure. You didn't have the right discipline. And you weren't meant to rise earlier. Everything's happening in divine timing as it should. You were meant to rise right now, starting with this video. Everything you went through was preparation for this moment and all the moments after it, not punishment. Your past shaped you, your pain built you, your struggle matured you, and your setbacks strengthened you, and your experiences have forged you. You're not late, you're just ready to arrive at the show. And now you've got a choice. You can either stay loyal to the version of you that keeps you small and inside a little box, or you can step into that version of you that scares you because it's so powerful. That version of you that's waiting behind discipline, behind consistency, behind momentum, behind habits that you know you need to build to move your life forward and make them daily. Then you're building momentum daily. Behind the decisions that you've been avoiding, but you're not going to avoid them anymore. So let me tell you something that should really fire you up and get you excited. Your potential is not dead. It's dormant. It's sleeping under years of distraction and years of doubt. It's time to wake it up. Wake it up with training. Wake it up with structure. Wake it up with clean habits. Wake it up with movement and getting active. Wake it up with discipline. Wake it up with living with purpose, on purpose. Wake it up by doing the things that you know you're capable of. Even if it's hard now, it's taking action and building momentum every day. Because let me tell you the truth, you're not average. You never were. You just act like it because you forgot how powerful you are. Let that one really sink in. So it's time to stop shrinking, stop doubting, delaying, hiding, stop lying to yourself and stop playing it safe. Start acting like the man you feel inside your chest and inside your head. Start building like someone who knows that he's meant for greatness, because you are. Start carrying yourself like somebody who's actually got standards. Start living like someone who knows his worth. Start leading yourself. Start choosing the harder path. Start becoming the man that you keep on dreaming about, because that man is real. He's you. He's waiting. He's ready to step out the moment you stop giving your power away. Because you're not broken, you're just unfinished. You're not weak, you're just underused. And you're definitely not stuck, you're just unactivated and not excited. So activate yourself today. Not next week, not next month, today. Because when you finally decide to rise up and level up and lock in, life gets out of the way for you. The universe moves differently for men who move with purpose. Opportunities appear. People respect you more. You trust yourself more, and your energy starts to become magnetic. Your discipline becomes your identity, and your identity becomes your destiny. You're capable of so much more than you could even imagine, and the world has no idea what's coming for you once you unlock it. So if you want a daily system that's going to help you move forward, regardless if it's a good day, bad day, click the link in the bio and get a free copy of the Become Unfuckwithable Blueprint. It's the daily system that I use for physical and mental momentum, and it's the one that I give to all my private clients. So I'll see you in the next video, but don't bother clicking on the next video if you're not going to sit and read that free blueprint that will change your life. It's changed so many lives before you. Let's fucking go.